Hello everybody and welcome to the Fancy Sip Review. Today on the Fancy Sip Review, I'm going to be trying a flavored malt beverage by United Brands Company, Inc. out of La Mesa, California. This drink is going to be part of their Joose line, and the flavor is going to be blue lemonade. Kind of like a baby shower, except instead of having a girl, you're having a boy. That's the only joke that I can have for blue lemonade. Now, originally, Joose was a competitor to Four Loko when these kind of drinks first came out. Four Loko used to be known for having caffeine, and a few companies also came out around the same time. Like Joose, there was another company called Sparks, which no longer exists. Somehow, Joose is still around and kicking, although it's incredibly uncommon. This is the only flavor of Joose that I've ever been able to actually find. And I thought, why not try reviewing this? I haven't reviewed a flavored malt beverage in a while on the Fancy Sip Review, so what better time than ever than now? So, first thing I notice about the can is kind of reminiscent of Four Loko. Now, instead of having camouflage, it has what looks like a 90s looking, maybe new metal-y design, or just, I don't know, this looks like something that would be a design from the 1990s. Like this would be something that Tony Hawk or Bam Margera would be skateboarding on. This is part of the J series of Joose, which I assume means the Joose series, and it does say warning on it. This kind of looks like a tramp stamp in the design of a knockoff Four Loko, like somebody that was big on listening to just 90s alternative music would have made this design. And honestly, that probably is the case, seeing as this drink did come out in the early 2000s, and just like Four Loko, they never changed their design. However, camouflage is a bit more of a current type of a design than what this is, but I'm not just going to judge the can based on I'm not going to judge the drink based on the can, but it does look kind of silly. So on the can, it doesn't actually list the nutrition facts, so I would assume that this shares the same amount of calories as a Four Loko, which is around 660, according to most sites that I look up. There's a lot of people that say that they don't know how much alcohol is in a Four Loko or how many calories are in one, and it seems kind of divided. This is 23.5 ounces, so it is the same as a Four Loko. I've already showed the can. This is also 14%. Four Loko used to be 14%, but it does seem as if the drinks themselves are now shrinking. The alcohol is shrinkflating to 13.9%. I'm going to crack this can open and let you know how this smells. So this is what the color of the beverage looks like. True to the name of blue lemonade, this is a blue beverage. It has a very neon blue looking color to it. The drink kind of tastes vile in a way, no offense. To Joose, I understand that it's tough to mask the smell of the malted beverage, especially at 14%. The smell is slightly reminiscent of the Four Loko electric lemonade. Although this is blue, I am curious if this is going to have blue raspberry type flavor to it to go with the lemonade. I'm going to take a sip of this and let you know how this sits in the mouthfeel. Oh. Whew. Ugh. You're probably not supposed to just like put this in your mouth and then not immediately swallow it. The taste of it is incredibly acidic. With the comparison between the Joose blue lemonade and the Four Loko electronic lemonade, or electric lemonade, not electronic lemonade, this is a much more bitter, malty, sour tasting lemonade, whereas the Four Locos lemonade was much more of a sweet taste. I am curious if this has the same amount of sugar in it or what the actual ingredients are, but we may never know because for some reason they don't have to list the ingredients on flavored malt Alco Pops. I'll give this a sip, or I'm not just going to leave this in my mouth. See if this goes down a little bit smoother. Ooh. I'll say every alternating sip, it goes from a slight lemonade taste in which it actually is palatable to a very Warheads type taste in which it really makes your mouth pucker. I don't really know if that's good in terms of flavor profile of a flavored malt beverage. Now, this is essentially a bum wine, and I understand that. And, you know, sometimes you want a really sweet tasting drink, and you could go the route of Four Loko. They also have a sour line. This is just an alternative, honestly. It's not terrible at 14%. I don't think that it has much of a blue raspberry type of a taste to it. The smell of it just smells like a sour malted beverage. And I guess if I were to describe the taste, I would say lemonade. I just don't think it's as sour as that of its competitors, the sour line of Four Loko. I don't think the sweetness is on par with that of the Four Loko Core series. It just tastes kind of malted. It's more reminiscent of that of the Alloy series Steel Reserves than that of its brethren, the Four Loko series. Sparks doesn't exist anymore, so I don't really have much of a comparison in that line of flavored malt Alco Pop energy knockoff drinks to Four Loko, but it's a very unique tasting drink. I'll take one big sip of this and give my final thoughts and give you a number score. Personally, this is a tough drink to recommend. Now, if you have the means, which everybody does, Four Loko is sold pretty much everywhere unless you live in a state in which you have to go to your local beer dispensary that's run by the state, or if you live in Utah, in which the Mormons will cap your alcohol at 5%. But if you don't live in one of those places, you live in a place with Four Loko, this doesn't really compare that well. Now, if I were to compare this to the Steel Reserve Alloy series, that is much lower alcohol percentage at 8%, however, is much sweeter and tastier, honestly. And I mean, it's really tough to recommend something that another company honestly does better. I mean, I honestly can't get the blueberry taste from this. It does taste a little bit different than a lemonade, but I mean, the sour mixing with the malt does not give the blue raspberry much of a leg to stand on. It is sour because, I mean, they have to mask the alcohol percentage, but I don't know. I never really drank any of the Four Loco lemonade, not lemonade infused, lemonade beverages outside of just electric lemonade. I think they had a strawberry lemonade, maybe a peach lemonade. So I don't really know how I would compare that to this Joose. I will say that for $3.50 that I paid, I don't think that this is really worth it. I will give the Joose blue lemonade a 5.5 out of 10. Your only selling point is the high alcohol percentage, but not a lot of people want to be drinking something that's 14%. If you were to be drinking something that's 14%, I mean, maybe make it taste better, or I guess you could say that the bad taste of this is your body's natural reflection on you probably shouldn't put this in your body. It's not sugary enough, I guess. And I don't know. You can't really listen to these reviews in which I'm telling you to just load sugar in something because you'll end up with diabetes or something, but I don't know. It's tough to review this drink. It's not very tasty. Another company does the same thing better. And I guess you could say the color is cool. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you learned a lot. If you are a bigger fan of Joose than you are of Four Loco, please leave a comment telling me that I'm wrong if you're part of the Joose gang and not the Four Loco squad. Again, thank you so much for watching this video. Cheers.